Hi guys, this is Alex from the Cassini project. Normally I don't do videos like this, but I have a special announcement to make at the end of this video, which makes it a first in the Cassini project history, what I'm going to do, okay? So this is more or less informational for the most part. I'm just going to go through the guitars that I use and how I record my songs up to a point. So yeah, what I have here is the Schecter Demian Elite. It is an extremely good guitar. I love it, and I will now show you why. These have EMG pickups, and I love EMG pickups because they give, on this guitar at least, okay, like they're active. People say that they're kind of just, limited to metal, but I disagree. I think they're extremely versatile. I've got some really lush, clean tones out of this guitar that I used on my album Sellout, and yeah, to say that it is exclusively a metal guitar would be misleading. It is certainly not. It is a versatile guitar. However, you are kind of limited to a certain number of tones for sure, but there's a lot of room for exploration within that range. Okay, so it's a three-way selector switch. That's what I mean by limited to a range. Okay, but that being said, there's a lot of scope for exploration with those tones, and the most important thing is that those tones are extremely good tones. They're quality. Okay, so that's what you want. You want quality over quantity. Yeah. Obviously, the mahogany body, I think, does contribute to the tone, and I think wood plays an important part. Some people disagree. Some people say wood has nothing to do with it. I beg to differ. Like, I mean, I've listened to titanium guitars where it's just like a metal pole with strings attached to it, and it just sounds dry. Okay, like you have the electronics, the pickups that create the resonance and all that, but nah, it just sounds dry. Like when you have like mahogany body, I think that gives it a real lush kind of rich, velvety, smooth kind of quality, like a fine wine, a burgundy wine or something like that. That's what I picture when I listen to a Gibson guitar, and that's what I hear when I look at when I play this, and also when I look at it, because I love the finish. Right, it's this rich, beautiful red, cherry red. It's so nice. And then also you have a rosewood fretboard with abalone fret markers. I mean, I love this guitar. Also the tremolo bar on this, the whammy bar, magnificent. I can't complain. Like, I mean, let me demonstrate. I mean, I could just do this this is a guitar that I started on. It is the alpha to the omega of the Schecter. I love the tone out of this as well. It's got single coil pickups. Obviously, hum and buzz is an issue with it. It is a Japanese Strat. I think it competes well above its weight against the Mexican and American Strats. I think it's a very good Strat. I like this guitar. It's obviously battle worn. It's got some cuts in the veneer. Also, the little thing at the top of the selector switch is missing. I don't know what that's called actually, but anyway, you can tell me in the comments possibly. Yeah. Rosewood fretboard, and yeah, I think it's got a very punchy clear tone, very punched out, but that's good. Okay, so it's punchy, but it's also rich. But also the issue with Fenders is that, like, you know, they can sound a little bit brittle as well. You know, that's the thing with Fenders. But yeah, I'll just give a demonstration. The tone switches give you some excellent kind of fuzz tone. So, like, I mean, some of these don't work anymore because it's a banged up guitar, I can tell you. But let's have a listen to some interesting tones. Okay, and with this pedal, let's see what it sounds like. So that was the guitar I started with. So then, you know, in 2004 I wanted to shred more, you know, and I wanted some modern and cool, so I went for an Ibanez. Or is it an Ibanez? I don't know, you tell me, as I don't really hear it being said that much, you know, the name of the guitar. Anyway, this thing, it has a crack in the neck, okay? Why does it have a crack? Because I woke up one day, it was on the floor, and my foot made contact with the neck, and so it cracked. The wood is very thin here, right? It's not great wood for this guitar. I had it repaired by a very good guitar tech person who fixed it very well, and you know, I haven't really adjusted the. See, you might see it there. Okay, right. That, I don't know if you can see that, but basically, the action on the strings, like, I have to reset that with like a truss rod adjustment, and I don't know how to do it, so I have to bring it to a shop. And I haven't done that yet. I don't really play it that much because essentially it's outclassed and outmoded by the Schecter, which does everything this guitar does, but like 100 billion times better. This was a great guitar for the time. This is an Ibanez S4. It has 2 single coil pickups and a humbucker. It has a wide variety of tones. I don't think those tones are as good as the Fender Stratocaster, but at the time I thought, wow, more quantity, that means it must be better, right? and I wasn't really paying attention to the actual quality of the tone. It sounded different, but it didn't really matter to me. I thought, oh, this is just cool. I was also, when the action was lower in this was an ideal shred machine. Like, I could shred on, well, I can't shred that well, but I mean, it was easy to shred on this thing. The fretwork is a bit dodgy. Like, I don't think it's good fretwork in this guitar, as far as I can tell. There is a tremolo bar for this, but I can't find it at the moment. It does have a pretty good tremolo system, but it's not Floyd Rose. But so obviously it will go out of tune, right? But after a few uses of the tremolo arm. But that being said, it is remarkably stable for a non-Floyd Rose guitar. So let's have a listen to it. Okay, this is probably going to be out of tune as well because, yeah. Okay, so this is my Ibanez bass. I bought this specifically to fill out compositions because I was relying on someone else to provide me with a Yamaha, and when they could no longer do that, I had to get my own bass, right? So, because otherwise I'd have to use a MIDI bass, and MIDI basses I don't think are not up to scratch. I don't think bass simulators are up to scratch either for rock songs where it has to be real. I think it works with like synthwave or electronica, things like that, but not for like organic rock music. So you want a real bass guitar. So if there was a disadvantage with this guitar, I would say that the pickups can be quite muddy or quite tinny. They're quite mushy as well. And but otherwise, I bought this for €300, and it's a good budget bass. Like, I mean, it performs the function I want it to reasonably well, which is to fill out the sound and give a bass tonality, and that's what it does. So that's why I like it. Yeah, just on that subject, like, I mean, amp VSTs, not a fan. I used them on Roadwave and Heaven is a Place on Earth. I think amp VSTs basically simulate the real thing, but in doing so, you get a digitized copy, right? So it can sound a bit scratchy, a bit tinny. So I'm not a fan of amp simulators, and I won't be using them again. I've hit upon an ideal solution with my home recording, at least, to plug the amplifier directly into the interface via some pedals, and you get the full tone of a real amp going into an interface. And I think that's the best optimum solution. Like, the reason I wanted to use amp simulators was just to try them out, but also to have a direct line in from the guitar to the interface with no kind of extra parts in the chain to cause signal degradation. But no, I've changed my mind. I think amp, pedal, interface, that is actually the ideal kind of solution. So future recordings will have that. I also have a cover version potentially upcoming soon. Anyway, I want to demonstrate this bass, so here we go. Okay, so I have this classical guitar, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I got this in Birmingham. It's got a very lush, focused tone. I got this for a recital. I remember when I got it in Birmingham, okay, but there's a bit of a backstory to this. I remember going to London, and I was going to try out a left-handed guitar, and this guy that was trading it was going to bring it to the shop, and he had 3 weeks to do it, and we had set and arranged a date. And then when I flew over from Ireland to London, guess what? The guitar wasn't there because the person that was selling it couldn't be bothered bringing it to the shop. Okay, so I tried out a right-handed guitar, and they restrung it, okay, to make it left-handed, and the tone out of it was pretty good, but obviously it wasn't ideal to play on. Like, the action was all wrong because it's like restrung, okay. So what I did was I made a note of that, okay, that the tone was good. And when I went over to Birmingham about 2 months later, I tried out 2 guitars. Now, one of those guitars was much more comfortable to play on. Like, I could feel comfortable playing this guitar. Like, you know, the action wasn't too high. My fingers weren't straining to play the notes. But the tone I thought was a bit too crisp for my liking. Whereas this guitar, harder to play on for sure, but the tone matched the kind of tone I was looking for in London. So, you know, I could tell this is the one, okay? And it's left-handed. Actually, I forgot to mention all my guitars are left-handed because I'm a lefty. So, yeah, I mean, this is a great guitar. It's substantial heft to it, like it's weighty. It's got a nice tone. I like the tuning heads, or the tuning knobs are nice black. You got some nice filigree metal on it. So, yeah, as to the special announcement is that I am going to record Fight to Believe in a recording studio. Now, I haven't actually gone back to a recording studio for like about 14 years because, and by the way, if you want to hear those recordings that I made in the recording studio, leave a comment, okay, under the video. Basically, and I'll upload it, okay, but basically the reason I didn't go back to recording studio is because it was dog poo, relatively speaking. Like, we went in there, we recorded, and it turned out to be dog poo. I mean, it sounded, you know, obviously like it was in a studio, right? But it wasn't mixed properly, and that's my issue. Like, we spent money and we got a substandard product as a result, and that put me off going back ever, because I wanted to have autonomy and some sort of control over how the recording process was going. You know, sometimes I felt that when I was in the studio, we had lost control a little bit, and the engineer was taking over, and I don't like that, to be honest. So that kind of made me a bit wary of recording studios. What I'm going to do is I was going to do Fight to Believe, because I think that's my best song. But you might have a different opinion, and if you do have a different opinion, please leave a comment under the video, and I will record that song if you give a good enough justification, or if enough people vote for a particular song. Okay, so if you like say, I think this is a good song to record because like it's you know, whatever, then yeah, I'll probably do that. Okay, you know, because you tell me what to do. Okay, but for the moment, provisionally, you know, Fight to Believe. So I mean, I was looking at it last night actually, because I recorded that song in 2014 at Christmas, and you know, I was just recording it but also writing it as I went along. Like, I had a framework, and then, you know, I was adding stuff to it, so I haven't played it since, and as a result I'm probably going to make a few mistakes with this one, but I will give a demonstration on this guitar. So let's have a listen to Fight to Believe.
here is a Boss GT10 pedal. I never really used it because I was expecting to play a lot of live gigs, and this was going to be my multi-effects board, and it never really came into play. This is what I kind of use a lot, actually. It's the Brian May Digi Effects pedal. Now, the cool thing about this pedal is that I can give you exactly the same tone as Brian May, but you can change these settings here. So you get like his awesome tone, but you get some of your own tone as well. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the a really excellent distortion pedal, and then your own kind of sound as a result. So it's not just like, let's sound like Brian May, although you can have that. It's like, take his really nice tone and some really good distortion, and then, you know, you have your own kind of exclusive tone, but with the essence of May. This is the EP booster pedal that I use. When I was playing live gigs, a lot of the amps sometimes could be really, really bad, so this basically makes your guitar sound good if it's playing through a bad amp. And it also gives you a boost, okay? So, yeah, it makes your guitar louder. So if you want to play a solo, your guitar will cut through the mix because you're getting, like, I think it's a 12 decibel boost. But what I mostly use it for is the EQ. So I use it for tone. And it gives you this nice kind of crisp... it makes this sound... It gives you kind of like... Jimmy Page, like kind of that kind of crisp kind of tone. Yeah, I think it has something on the back about that. What does it say? Does it say anything about that? No, it doesn't. But yeah, this is a secret weapon in a way. What we have here is the Boss Turbo Distortion. I've used this a lot on Filler, Sellout, other albums. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's a good pedal. What else do we have? We have Akg Condenser Mic, which I use to record vocals. I've had this since 2006. It served me well. Focusrite audio interface, obviously the laptop, and we also have here auto wah pedal. It's pretty nifty. I used it on Hoedown. Well, I probably didn't mention that, you know, in relation to that Stratocaster there. I recorded an album called Symphony Schizophrenic from 2003 to 2006. I never released it because the recording quality is so abysmal. But if you want to hear it, just leave a comment in the video and I'll upload it, okay? What do I have here? I have a Marshall amplifier. I don't know which speaker it was that was blown out, but I blew out one of them because, you know, I was putting in the jack with the volume turned way up, and I was just careless, and boom, you know, one of the speakers blew out. So I got that replaced, but it never really sounded quite the same. Anyway, that's my rig. Thank you for watching, and yeah, bye.